Welcome back to CryptosRus. I'm George. We're all George. Welcome to another Market Open stream. Unfortunately, we have more FUD today because we have another major bank, Deutsche Bank, on the edge of collapse. So what is this about? Are the banks collapsing one after another? Are there more? And what are the governments around the world going to do about it? So let's talk about it. Let's talk about Bitcoin and let's talk about Binance, because there's some news about Binance as well. So I was going to say smash with the like. welcome, guys. It is now 8:30, and that means the bell. There we go. The best bell in the industry. But take a look. Today, the U.S. market and European markets are in red because we have another major bank that is sliding, that is tumbling. Not dead yet, but there's definitely a lot of fear over this other bank because the cost of insurance's default is skyrocketing. What does that mean? That means people are anticipating that this bank could be the next to collapse. So there's these insurance instruments that you could buy basically that protects you from default of a bank. And if that insurance gets more and more costly, well, that means there are people that's predicting that bad things are happening and the chance of collapse is increasing, right? That's exactly what's happening right now with Germany Bank, Deutsche Bank. So we know that Europe right now just had a big bailout in Switzerland's Credit Suisse, bailed out by the National Bank and sold off to UBS. And by the way, UBS isn't doing very well either. Yesterday it collapsed about 7%. Today already down 3%. So UBS is not doing so well either. But there's just a lot of fear over banks right now. If Credit Suisse had to be bailed out, does that mean Deutsche Bank needs to be bailed out? Does that mean some other major bank will need to be bailed out? Well, we don't know at this point, but it's looking more and more like people are panicking, pulling their money out. Deposits are drying up. And when there's no more liquidity, these banks don't know what to do because they can no longer borrow money at 0% interest. For so long, these banks have operated where they had no fear. If they needed liquidity, right, they borrow 10x from the Fed or from whatever central bank at basically near zero interest. You can borrow as much as you want, but that's no longer the case as the interest rates have been climbing up around the world, right? So that's the situation we're in right now. And, funny enough, the Swiss collapse, the Credit Suisse collapse, they blame it. The country of Switzerland is blaming that Credit Suisse went under because of the U.S., okay? Rather than point fingers at themselves, they're like, no, Credit Suisse collapsed because the U.S. banking sector got weak. That's why they collapsed. Well, I don't know if you can actually really point the fingers like that because all the banks are really connected together. I mean, they all have funds mingled around. So when one bank goes under, a lot of it concerns another bank, right? And that's actually part of the reason why Deutsche Bank is weak, because they actually wrote off. They had a whole bunch of money in Credit Suisse that they wrote off. And then people don't like that. People are like, well, how much did you actually lose and why did you write it off? And, people are raising questions, right? So all these banks are connected. So you can't just blame the U.S. banking crisis for this. It's all the banks around the world, they're all intermingled in some way or fashion. So that is the latest story from today, the latest FUD. But in the U.S., we still have a lot of it. Look at this. A new Fed facility program, which is a new loaning program that the Fed and FDIC, no, just the Fed, came out with to basically give emergency loans to banks. The number has increased in terms of the loan amount, has increased by over $40 billion week to week. Last week, it was only around, and I say only lightly, about $12 billion. Now it's up to about $54 billion. This is week to week, okay? Now, does that mean next week it's going to go up to $100 billion? And then it's just a matter of time. It goes from $100 billion to $500 billion to $1 trillion. So banks are eating this up right now. Again, shows you how weak the sector is, and every major bank is really thinking about what to do next. Do they have exposure to some of these other bigger banks that are weak or about to collapse? Should we take more loans from the Fed, right? First Republic is still selling off. Yesterday sold off like 8%. It's still selling off 5% today, right? There's just a lot of fear over banks right now. But you know what? You know what? Who does this help? Bitcoin. I've been saying this for a while. Bitcoin is steady while everyone is fearing over banks and their collapse. So Bitcoin is the way. Bitcoin was created so that we don't have to worry about banks collapsing or the money printing or the bailouts from the central banks. The very reason why Bitcoin was created was to get away from these things and basically make you your own bank so that you could take control of your own money, your own wealth, and you don't have to worry about it devaluing and debasing and inflating to nothing. The only thing you have to worry about is safeguarding it, right? That's what Bitcoin is all about. And that is why Bitcoin is holding strong. I saw this. Cathie Wood is loading them on Coinbase again. Coinbase, obviously, sued by the SEC recently. Gary likes to cause more FUD. Cathie Wood's like, no, it's okay. I'll keep buying Coinbase. So she's undeterred and continues to buy and buy and buy and buy. And also, by the way, I got this chart right here in case you're wondering how Deutsche Bank looks versus Bitcoin, inverse direction, right? This is what's happening right now. If you measure all the banks, the whole banking sector against Bitcoin, they're in inverse relationships right now. They're like this. All right. Other good news. Nasdaq is looking to launch their own custody service. Fidelity recently made their crypto exchange public, right? And Fidelity is into many, many other things. But Nasdaq wants to join in too. All these big boys, these big institutions, they want to jump in. They don't want to miss out. Okay, so adoption, awareness, usability, these things are all still growing by leaps and bounds right now from some of the biggest names out there. Think about that. And El Salvador, President Bukele, wants to make El Salvador even more friendly towards Bitcoin and innovation. Basically, they want to waive taxes now for Bitcoin innovation. So they're really trying to push the envelope when it comes to being Bitcoin friendly. And they are about to launch their Bitcoin volcano bonds in the near future too. So they're definitely pushing the envelope, and other countries are studying what they're doing. And California, interesting enough, according to Bank of America, California is leading the way, and they may soon adopt tokenization, blockchain, starting with vehicle titles. Think about that. Think about it. The way titles work is very archaic. right? When you pay off a car, you got to wait for a title to come in, right? And then if you're transferring to someone, it's a very archaic way. You got to sign it, they sign it, you go to the DMV, right? And it transfers. Well, think about if you could just transfer a token, okay? It gets transferred to you, and then you transfer to someone. That's it, right? If you own the token, you own that vehicle. That would cut down the paperwork, the manpower by 100-fold, right? And not only that, maybe you could do it with leases. You could do it with financing. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you could do with it. It's still very early. No one is really thinking about it, but could be happening in the near future. I mean, the same thing with deeds. I mean, you could do this with anything, really. I mean, the use case for tokenization and fractional ownership, I mean, there's just so much to it. But going back to Bitcoin directly, you know what? The miners are also ramping up. I've shown charts where Bitcoin mining is now very profitable, and the more profitable it becomes, usually the better it is for Bitcoin. We have seen a huge correlation with that. But right now, take a look. The hash rate is at an all-time high. Bitcoin is the only crypto where the price trails the hash rate, not vice versa. If you look at anything else that's still proof of work, for example, Litecoin or Doge or anything else like Cadena and others, usually what happens is the hash rate follows the price. If the price goes down, hash rate goes down. Price goes up, hash rate goes up. But when it comes to Bitcoin, regardless of the price going up or down, the hash rate just keeps going upwards. I mean, that's how it works, because Bitcoin miners know this is not something you want to give up on, right? This is future wealth. What you're getting now, even if you're at break even, is going to make you a substantial amount of money in the future. This is the one thing that you want to stock up more on now than later, because it's cheaper to do it now. The hash rate going up means the difficulty is going up, which means the amount needed to generate a Bitcoin or to find a Bitcoin within a block is getting more and more costly. So you want to do what you can to get as much now rather than later, because you're going to get a lot less later, right? And the same thing with DCA. You want to buy when things are cheap before it gets too expensive. In the future, when you're trying to buy Bitcoin at $1 million versus 28,000, there's a big difference. All right, so in the future, you're going to get a fractional piece or a few sats versus a whole coin. Same concept. That's why Bitcoin mining, the miners continue to just mine and mine and mine and mine. They are not selling any, and they continue to up their hash power. But ultimately, this is good. That means the network is more secure. That is why Bitcoin's network has not been hacked for 10 plus years and has 100% uptime for 10 plus years. It's the most secure and most resilient and reliable network that we have on the planet due to these miners. So think about that. And as for current movement, right? Yesterday night, I just did a video about Bitcoin going up to 40,000. Well, here's another one. This is according to WD Gann. Not sure who he is. Probably someone famous. 50% retrace movements can happen in half the time. So, okay. So if you look at this, obviously we were at 69,000. We fell down to 15,000. Now the recovery back up could take half the time it took to come down, right? Well, if that's the case, well, by June or July, we're back up to $40,000. And there's a lot of things supporting this. On-chain metrics, fundamentals, banking fears, macro conditions. There's a lot of things that can drive this and make it true. Great things. All right, the last thing I want to talk about is this Binance FUD. People love to spread FUD about Binance, and I still don't see why. Like, people want to see Binance fail, or the largest exchange on earth by far fail, because I don't know. I don't really get it. People do not understand how big Binance is, and if they do fail, it'll be equivalent of the Federal Reserve falling. it would be utterly disastrous. So again, people are rooting for Binance to go under. You guys all need to go away. But anyways, Binance does have a little problem this morning. Something with their matching engine, something that allows, you know, all the trades to happen. There's some kind of bug. So they are working on it. They halted trading. They halted withdrawals. Okay? And now, if you look at everything, CZ's on top of it, really making sure people know what's going on. They had an all-hands-on meeting. Now their first engine is back online, but they have another engine that they're working on. And you could see estimate for everything to come back up is about 60 minutes. So they are working and they are communicating. That is the bottom line. So it's not like they're in trouble. It's not like they're shutting down. It's not like they're doing a rug pull like a lot of people like to spread. It's none of those things. They have a bug and they are working on it and they are staying on top of it. So there you go. There you go. I just don't understand the FUD around Binance. I just don't. I don't think the people that are spreading FUD about Binance really understand the consequences. If that happened, it'll be worse than Tether going belly up. All right, let's do some Q&A. All right. Scrolling down. Let's see. Reading, scrolling. Claudius, I'm not bullish on helium, so you're spreading some falseness with that statement. Helium seems to be in a spiral, and unfortunately, I don't know if they're going to recover. Did you receive any Arbitrum airdrop? You know what? I actually didn't check. I'm hoping I do. I actually didn't check. You're supposed to connect your wallet and it's supposed to let you know. I have not done that yet. Will you be on Miami NFT week? No. The only one I'll be going to is Bitcoin 2023. So I'll be going there. I don't know if I'm going to Consensus. I've never been to Consensus before, but all these other smaller conferences, I have no interest in. Do you think Rich Dad Poor Dad brings a lot of newbies to crypto? Me personally, I do. I don't know. I mean, he's been around forever. He's very controversial. A lot. I would say people that follow him are mostly older. So I don't know how many of them are actually coming into Bitcoin. Robert himself, I don't think he truly understands a whole lot about Bitcoin either. I mean, he's just so anti-bank, anti-government. So he just, I think because of that, he likes Bitcoin. But I don't know how many people he's actually bringing into this space. Danny boy. Happy Friday, George. Happy Friday, everyone. I forgot it's Friday. Every day seems to be the same for me. When Bitcoin hits 100K, will you open a bottle of Macallan 25 drink on stream? I will do that. I will do that. That bottle is like $500 or $600, something like that. I will buy one and drink it on air once Bitcoin hits 100,000. Actually, I'll do better than that. I'll drink it while in my Ferrari driving down the highway. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, I won't be doing that. What happened to Elon Musk? He's not talking a lot about Doge. That's true. I don't know why. He just kind of completely stopped talking about Doge altogether. Ever since he took over Twitter, you would figure he would talk about Doge more. But he's become silent on Doge ever since he basically took over Twitter, which is really weird. You would figure that's the opposite of what he would be doing. Coinbase still selling off. Block sold off. A lot of banks are still selling off. Credit Suisse still selling off. Crypto Dream, appreciate that. Michael, he has been. He has been calling it for a long time. Are you going to hang out in LA after filming? I don't know if I have time. I'm going for 6 days. Recording's the whole day. So just FYI, I'm not going to be streaming. Tomorrow morning will be my last live stream for like a week. I will probably record something at night after I'm done recording for the show. But then, you know, I'm hanging out with my family. They're coming along, but unfortunately, I'm not gonna have like zero time to hang out with them. So I don't think I'm gonna do any meetups or do anything like that. Now, Miami is a different story. Miami, you know, I'm trying to set up something, if I can. So Miami will be different for those of you guys that'll be in Miami for Bitcoin 2023. Mr. Select World, I appreciate that. Jug Jones, I have another house video geared up. I'll probably play it tomorrow morning. Either tonight or tomorrow morning. Probably tomorrow morning. Twitter is removing blue check marks starting April 1st. What? Tom, have a good day. Thanks for joining. Macallan 25 goes for 2,500, not 500. I thought I saw Costco selling for 500. Well, if it's 2,500, it's okay. When Bitcoin hits 100,000, that'll become chump change. I was thinking if they allow me, I could do some videos while I'm filming, film behind the scenes, maybe interview the judges, right? Maybe I could do some cool behind the scenes stuff while I'm there. Wait. With lit. Yeah, I'm hoping I can if they gave me permission. Want to hear your thoughts on GeoJam? Dan, that just sounds horrible. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'd give my opinion on that. The overall market cap is a little bit lower today. Bitcoin is a little bit lower today. I guess the FUD got to everything. But you know what? Bitcoin is the way. Bitcoin is how you opt out of the shenanigans, the tyranny, the greed of the banks and central banks. Are you nervous at all for filming a show? No. No, I don't know how it's gonna go. I mean, they said it's like 8 to 9 hours of filming. I don't know why it takes that long. I guess there's many cuts and you have to say things over and over and over again. I don't know. I'm not that nervous. The only thing I was nervous about was how I was going to dress. But I think I'm good. I think I got a good amount of outfits that I can mix and match with. So I think I'll look decent. I'm going to get myself a haircut too. Why not time lapse your house? I mean, first of all, you need a camera that's on 24/7, and that was not possible before electricity was in the house, and it's still kind of hard to do right now. So you can't really do a time lapse. If you do it with the GoPro, it runs out of battery so fast. It's not worth doing. Be careful with those Hollywooders. They're weird AF. Okay, I don't know how many Hollywooders I'm going to meet up with, but we'll see. We'll see. Every dip is DCA opportunity. Eli, I agree with that. I do agree with that. Why are you not showing who lives in my basement? Well, I had to release Do Kwon recently. That's why he got arrested. You know, who else I have locked up in here is my business only. So. Jack, yes, way more than that. What's wrong with Jordan 3s? Nick, why are you laughing at that? Do you think the banking contagion will spread to Asian banks? Also, do you think in hindsight Japan doing no rate hikes is smart due to all the banking failures right now? I don't know. You're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. Japan may seem like they're smart by not doing rate hikes, but then again, their inflation is starting to get out of control. And you don't want to get in a situation where your currency devalues so much you can never bring it back, so to speak, right? Because the Japanese yen has devalued itself against other major currencies in a major way. So I don't even know the repercussions of that. So I don't know. You're damned if you do, if you're damned if you don't. You're better off just not printing a whole lot of money to begin with and not forcing people and businesses to shut down and go home for 2+ years, right? That would have been optimal, but we are in a situation we're in. And I do think the contagion will spread to Asian banks. It'll spread everywhere. All these banks, like I said at the beginning, they're all connected. They're all connected to each other. There's no way you have banks in Asia that's not, that has no exposure to European banks or American banks. That's just not, that's impossible. I don't know how many pairs of shoes I'm going to bring. I was thinking about bringing 6, 1 for each day of recording, but it's too much for my luggage. I might just do like 2 pairs or 3 pairs. Ali, yes, Ali, I already mentioned it. They're having a bug issue, Binance that is, and they will be up shortly. So no need to be panicking at this point. Bitcoin is still holding strong. It wants to break through. It's probably going to take a couple of tries. But, you know, breaking this 28.8, touched it once, touched it second. We'll touch it again, maybe this weekend, right? We're looking forward to that. Are you bullish towards Gala? Yeah, I still think they're, you know, a lot of the gaming plays, a lot of NFT plays, GameFi, you know, Metaverse, they all got weak when the whole market got weak. Of course, people are not too excited about them, but when the market comes up, they will come back in. And Gala is, in my opinion, the premier gaming platform at this point. Joshua, what do you think about Alchemy Pay? I think with all the fears about bank on-ramps or fiat on-ramps or off-ramps, Alchemy Pay is benefiting from that. So I think they're a pretty good spot. They're one of the only crypto projects that really help with that. I mean, there's a few others, but I think they're the biggest. And they have some good partnerships out there too. Patrick, appreciate it. Binance is back online now. See, there's no worry. I don't know why people love to spread FUD about Binance. In terms of response time, in terms of communication, they are by far way better than any other exchange out there. CZ himself is on top of it. It's not like one of his guys reporting. I mean, in terms of communication, and even service, you know, getting problems fixed when there's major hacks or withdrawals due to a hack or whatever. I mean, he's on top of it. So I don't know why there's so much FUD around Binance. People think that FTX and Binance are similar. They're not. FTX was 1/10 the size of Binance. So people, I think most people don't know that. People thought FTX so big because they just had a big presence, big media presence, commercials, celebrities, and it gave the illusion that FTX was big. They were 1/10 the size of Binance. So, let's see. Should I buy Satima on a bull run? That's you figure that out. Would I buy it? No, I would not. You figure out what you want to do with your own money. Someone asked me if I bought any ordinals. No. I have not. But I do think ordinals in the future will be worth a lot because the very first Bitcoin NFTs stored on a blockchain forever. That's one difference between ordinals and some of the other NFTs out there. A lot of the NFTs actually are stored on like a third-party server, the pictures that is. With ordinals, the pictures are actually stored on chain. On Bitcoin's blockchain forever. So I think ordinals could be absolutely huge. I don't know why I haven't decided to look one up and buy one because I think they could be worth millions in the future. I don't know how much they're going for now, but you got to figure the very first NFTs to reside on Bitcoin's chain, they got to be worth something in the future. Crypto Surge, I'm going to try to put out some videos at night, like a recap video or do some behind the scenes videos if I can. But unfortunately, starting from Sunday, no streaming until the following Sunday. I'll be gone for a week. Good to go. I'm not even going to mention that. What am I filming? I'm filming the next crypto gem. It's kind of like a Shark Tank show. And the whole purpose is to find the next crypto gem. And I do think the show will bring a lot more attention to the space. Even though I'm recording in March, it's not going to be played until like June or July. And that time, I think the whole crypto, all of crypto will be stronger then, including Bitcoin. So the timing of it could be perfect. And it could bring mass attention to crypto in a good way, right? So I'm looking forward to it. I think it could be huge. Steven, keeping my money in crypto, not the banks. That's smart. That's smart. Do you know if Do Kwon will be extradited to the U.S.? I don't know. Not North Korea. South Korea, I think, is where they're going to process him, not the U.S. Tony, hopefully that's not the case. All right, guys, I'll let you go. Overall, we got another bank that is collapsing, tumbling, and contagion spreads from Switzerland now to Germany. Who's next, right? And U.S. banks aren't doing much better either. So there's still a lot of fear over banks. So this is a perfect time to be getting into something better. Something that makes you your own bank. Bitcoin with self-custody, right? So, yeah, stay strong, my friends, and smash the like and subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys tomorrow morning, 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. No stream tonight, and we'll see where Bitcoin heads to by tomorrow. All right? Have a good one, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.